Hello everybody. So this is a continuation of the last video that I was talking about renters beware. I do want to elaborate a little bit more on some things if you decide you wanted to go rent property out. All right, I'm just giving you some pointers here. Whether you've rented in the past or not, so much has changed nowadays. Every person 18 and up will have to do an application, have a background check, criminal background, credit check, etc., etc. And say like your household has 4 adults. They could be married. They could be married with children that are adult children. It doesn't matter. Every person that's over 18 has to be cleared. That means that's an application. If there's 4 people, that's 4 applications. That's 4 application fees and 4 admin fees that they're going to have to pay in most cases. Now, depending on who you're going through, they might, say, well, we'll waive it since all y'all going to be in the same place, all of you's going on the lease whatsoever, things like that. But I'm just letting you know, worst case scenario. Now, say like you got 3 people that's got great credit, no problems with the background, and you got 1 that's got a problem, whether it be credit, whether it be a criminal type situation or whatever. That 1 person could have knocked y'all all out of the ballpark. Okay, so keep that in mind. Somebody with bad credit, okay, that 1 person could cause you not to get that rental. But they are going to require every adult to be checked out. An owner may not do that. An owner that's trying to rent their property out, they probably don't care. They just want your money. Okay? But they gonna be doing some things that may not be too cool. They may say, I want you to pay my rent to me in cash. Well, you better get a receipt. Because if you ever do decide you want to buy property, or if you ever want to use your rental income as some type of credit to show that you've been paying as agreed, you've been paying your rent on time, you can't do that if you've been paying them cash. You have no record. You could get a little piece of paper and say, I just want you to put on this piece of paper that I paid you this money. They can say no, I'm not doing it. Why do y'all think they're doing that? Because they don't want to report the money as income to the IRS. Okay. That's why. They could be getting all kind of government assistance. You don't know. There's just reasons why people do what they do. I'm just being straight up with y'all. So, sure, why not get free money? But how is that going to affect you? That's not helping you in the long run. You need to get receipts. If anything, do a money order. Put on the money order. Rent for ABC Street. Payable to. And make sure you put the name of that landlord or owner on that money order. Don't leave it blank. You leave it blank, that landlord will say, you never paid me. Make sure you fill everything out and you make a copy of it before you give it to somebody. Before you give it to the landlord, before you put it in the mail, whatever you're going to do with it. Best thing to do is get a cashier's check. Cashier's check from your bank got to have a name on it. And you also got a record of it. It come out of your checking account. All these things are going to affect you later on in life, especially if you're a young person. I'm sure nobody's told you any of this. Life adulting 101. That's what my kids call it. They say, Mama, you should teach a class on how to be an adult because, I taught them all about car insurance, renter's insurance if they were renting or whatever the case may be, or how to write a check, how to mail an envelope. They weren't taught any of this stuff in high school or middle school. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It blew my mind. So, yeah, parents, y'all need to teach your kids how to do these things. Even if they adult children, teach them. Because nobody else is going to teach them. And it's going to come back and they're going to fall flat on their face if they don't know how to do stuff. Okay, so let's fast forward. Owners, renters beware, property management companies, you're going to pay out the nose to get in somewhere. Okay, now get this. What if your credit ain't good? Nowadays, that's the normal, believe it or not. So, property management companies have gotten away around some of this, all right? Now, if your credit score is not a certain number, usually in the 600s or higher, they'll say, we'll rent to you. Your income is great. We have verified your employment. That's great. Your background check is great. Your credit score ain't too good up there. Okay, we don't know why, but we'll go ahead and rent to you because we know you got the money to pay us. However, my phone was ringing. We want you to pay a double deposit. Okay, so if the deposit is first month's rent, okay, so you got to pay a double that. If the rent was, say, $2,000 a month, you got to pay $2,000 first month's deposit, $2,000 for a double deposit, and then $2,000 for the first month's rent. That's $6,000 that you got to put into that property management company's hands before you can move in. Let me tell you, if you got $6,000, you can afford to buy a house. Okay? I got buyers that are buying houses with no money out of their pocket. For real. So, truly think about all that. There's just so much that you need to know that they are not going to tell you. They're not going to volunteer any information to you. If you want it, there it is. If you don't want it, don't want to pay the money, there's always somebody right behind you waiting in line. Now, government subsidies. There's a lot of people out here that are disabled, they're retired, or they are just in a low income or no income situation, and so they're getting a check from the government or whatever. Some people call this Section 8 type housing. Most of your towns have huge waiting lists, 1 and 2 years long, for real. If you think you're going to end up, say like if you're 55 or 60 years old and you think that's where you're going to be in the next few years, go ahead and get on that waiting list. And then when the time comes, if they call you, if you don't need it, then you say, I don't need it, take my name off the list. But it's better to be on the list than not be on a list. These normally are handled through your city entities. Like I live in Rock Hill, City of Rock Hill Housing Authority. Fort Mill's across the bridge, the City of Fort Mill Housing Authority. You follow me? Housing Authority. Just look it up in the county you live in or the town you live in. I don't know of any state benefits that are out there, but I do know that there are city ones when it comes to rent, paying your power bill, emergency food situation, and things like that. So don't wait until you are in a dire situation and don't know what to do, because you probably will not be able to get any type of emergency assistance because there's already a line of people in front of you that are in the same position. So just don't wait. Pre-plan. Plan ahead, y'all. Plan ahead if you can. And there again, I go back to my first video I did today. You need to have a realtor in your back pocket. You might not want to buy a house. You might have a realtor that says, oh, well, I don't have time to talk to you. I don't know what to tell you. They're just in it for the money. I'm going to be straight up. They're just in it for the money. I'm in it to help people lifetime. I remember my mom needing help, and my mama couldn't get help from nowhere. She was a single parent. And I was going to be an attorney so I could help people that couldn't afford attorneys. I don't know how I was going to make a living, y'all, because I was just going to do it for free. Imagine that. So now I'm just giving advice, all right? I might have to start charging about an hour for that. But anyway, for now, maybe a sliding scale, possibly. But my clients that I've dealt with, y'all call me anytime. If I've never dealt with you, call me. Talk to me anyway. I'll tell you what I can tell you and help you out. All right, I hope this helps. I got another video coming. Talk to y'all later.